Hello, my name is Sharon Singh. I'm here to tell you about my Parenthood Survival Kit project and ways that I found that can help parents when parenting. The inspiration for my kit came from friends as well as family members that I know, and many of them are stay-at-home moms, and they enjoy it because they have one-on-one time with their children and they're very involved parents. A lot of the information that's in my project slides are from the text, The Process of Parenting, as well as my own personal knowledge and some online material. My main focus here on this project was techniques and ways for stay-at-home moms to survive during the parenting stage, and how some of them can de-stress after a long day of caring for their child, ways that they can do that. Almost 71% of mothers are working and not stay-at-home mothers. They don't have the opportunities to stay at home. And some moms have part-time job. Almost 60% of Americans felt that children would benefit with the stay-at-home mom, which I think is true because they have more time with their children and they could see things hands-on on what they're doing and the way that they're growing. Birth to 2 years. This is a very crucial time for parents, especially if they're first-time parents, because this is where they have no experience of being a parent, so they're nervous. When researching this part of the project, I found that there's a 5-step program method, which was suggested by Dr. Karp. This was ways in helping a baby to stay calm and then help them from not crying. Using a swaddling blanket is something that a lot of parents use, especially when babies first come home, because you wrap them tightly, they stay warm and comfortable. It reminds them of being in the mom's stomach. Also, a baby sleeping on their side or the stomach position helps them to stay calm. Even making the shh sound, we hear it all the time. People are saying shh and bouncing the baby up and down. Babies also enjoy to be bounced up and down, or when you're swinging them, even dancing with them. This helps them to also stop crying. And babies, as we all know, like sucking on a pacifier. You could see a screaming baby at times, but then once they have their pacifier, they'll be calm and stop crying. You take it away out of their mouth and they start crying again. The things I thought that was needed for this survival kit are definitely diapers and wipes, blankets, lotion, toys, a baby monitor for the nursery when you're going to the next room so that you can monitor the baby if it's crying or moving around. Also, a rocker for the baby is good because, again, they like that bouncing motion. And also the baby pacifier. These are things that you should have prepared way before the baby even comes home. The 2-year stage. This is a stage where moms could go to mommy and me groups for both the mom and the toddler. This will help them gain support from other mothers and get advice from them. They could also share similar interests about their children. And this is a good time for the toddlers because they get to interact with other babies and socialize with them. This is where they can also learn how to share and play and be polite. It's also important for parents to read books to children during this time. This helps their bonding time and to watch their children grow. And they could help them during these times, especially to gain a better education skill. Two years to 5 years. This is another time that's also good for a Gymboree class. Children enjoy this, and this is good again for the mother because she gets to interact with other mothers, and the children can play together while they do that. I remember every time I talked to my cousin's wife, she was always at Gymboree with their son. He went to this almost every day and enjoyed it, and she met a lot of moms there and made friends with them. So it wasn't just moms that she saw at the Gymboree class. She made friends with them and they actually hung out together. So this was good for the mom because she made her own group of friends. I also think it's important to have a daily planner. I use a daily planner every day in my life, so I can't imagine what it's like for a mother to juggle all these things that they have to remember. So if they had a daily planner, they could stay organized and schedule events for even herself, for her child, sports event, doctor's appointments for her child or for herself, or any daily errands that she needs to run. It's also important to keep your kid on a consistent daily schedule. This helps children deal with their temper tantrums and their outbursts. So keeping their routine and their schedule the same will help them. This is a good time for a mom to enjoy some free time to herself. Maybe let the grandparents watch the kids and babysit them for a while. Take them out for ice cream, take them to the park. This is a good time for you as a mom to go grab lunch with friends, coffee, maybe clean the house because you haven't had time, or tend to errands that you haven't done, or food shopping, or maybe just some me time for you. 5 years. This is the time where a lot of children start preschool and they attend classes with other kids. But this is also a time where they're more aware of others and that the reaction that people have on them, and they feel judged. So they start becoming more self-conscious during this time in their life. They start having self-doubt and feeling ashamed, or maybe feel that they can't do something better than the next kid. Well, Joey plays baseball better than me, and Stacy can draw better than me. That's just something that children go through. I remember I went through it. I always thought the kids in my class drew better than me, or how come they got to play sports and they were so good at it. So I remember this feeling. So I'm sure that children don't want to feel this way. I think it's important to sign kids up for fitness and sports after school, because this helps them release their stress from their day and gives them an interest that maybe they enjoy. Maybe some girls like ballet, or boys and girls enjoy karate or a swim class, or maybe even another art class. This could help them to do better at their artwork, and they could do better in class. Also, I think moms could take up the interest of being a brownie mom for Girl Scouts, helping the child to interact with others and be a part of her community and set an example. This would be self-fulfillment also for the parent, to feel that they're doing something that maybe they've always wanted to do. Maybe they wanted to be a mother figure to not just their child, but other children. You could also coach a sports team. Maybe you've always dreamed of being a coach for a soccer team or a softball team. Also, getting involved with community service. Just showing that you're involved in many activities is a great example for children. The elementary school stage. This is a stage where coordination is already well developed. So kids understand how to start riding their bikes, and they know how to swim or draw or even play a team sports that they like. I also think that during this time, it's best to show your kids how to do daily chores after school. After eating dinner, maybe let them clear the table and wash the dishes. Show them that you're not going to be the only one to wash the dishes, clean the house, do the laundry, walk the family pet. They need to take responsibility and do these things as well. So this will help them gain responsibility and show them that you can't be the only one doing this. This also helps the parent because they get help around the house. They don't constantly have to be doing it. Instead of you washing dishes, maybe you can go for a walk if you want, or you can go relax and watch your favorite show or read your favorite book. This could be time that you can take to yourself because you've had a long day doing everything. Also, during this stage, kids can start riding their bikes to school or walking to school. This is good exercise for them, and it also helps them interact with other kids and their friends. They can walk together, and they can just enjoy this, especially if neighborhoods are safe and you feel that you feel safe with your kid walking. I understand if the neighborhood's not safe, you might feel much better driving the child to school. But if it's a safe neighborhood, I think kids should always ride or walk their bikes to school, especially if close. Spending family time with parents is good for children to see, such as eating dinner at the table with the parents, maybe doing homework with the parents, talking about their day, sharing their feelings. Maybe something went bad with their day, or maybe something went good with their day and they want your advice or a solution to their problem. So this will help you understand your child and help you grow with them. This is also a good time to show your child a good family relationship. Let them know that you need time with their dad and your husband. You maybe want to watch a movie together. Maybe you want to do bills together, or play a game together, things that you like as a couple. Show them that parents need their alone time without their children. So this is time that you can take to yourself, because with them being independent, they might want to do their own thing, play with their friends, go to someone's house or have a sleepover. This is time where you need to take, as parents, to yourself. Early adolescence stage, middle and junior high school. I think this is the most difficult stage for many parents. I also call this the experimental stage. We all remember being in junior high school. Definitely wasn't the easiest, because this is where you're learning to put makeup on and you want to impress your friends or have the next cool shoes or jeans or whatever it is. So this is a time I think that parents need to have a lot of patience and have the emotional support, because it's crucial during this time. This helps the parents because their child will trust them, and you can gain their trust. And you also can get outside help during this time. You can ask friends or family for help if your child is getting involved in drugs or alcohol or having sex too early or doing things that you feel they shouldn't be doing during this stage. It's a difficult time for teens because they're going from a school that was much smaller to a school that's larger. So they don't have as much time with their friends, or they don't have one-on-one with their teachers. So there's more involvement with teacher and student. So it's difficult for a child. This is also where they feel like they have to impress other peers. So they have a lot of peer pressure going on. But parents can also gain freedom during this time because their children are older. So this is a time that you can have to yourself, but you have to also get ready to sacrifice the control that you have during this stage. But it is important for children to gain the trust of the parent, and that way you can regain control of their life, because they'll trust you enough to speak to you about situations going on in their life. It's important also to set boundaries during this time and rules. Many teens start lying during these stages, and this happens a lot more with teens that don't have the best relationships with their parents, and parents don't set any rules. I remember when I was younger during this stage, my parents were strict. I had a curfew. I had to be home at a certain time. But I also had friends that their parents could care less when they came home or what time it was. Even during the week, school nights, they went home late or they were on the street late. That's not something I agree with. So I think boundaries and rules help the parent as much as the child. Curfews definitely need to be enforced, and parents should always get the information of where their child is going, or the parents' information, or what exactly they're going to. Your kid could be saying they're going to the library, but they are probably at a party with alcohol and drugs. Or they could say they're going to the movies or the mall, but they're not going there. Maybe they are hanging out with their boyfriend or their girlfriend, or just something that's not true that they told you. I think it's important during the stage for counseling for children or parents dealing with their teens having depression, anger, sadness, even low self-esteem. Parents need to take this opportunity to look for counseling for their child. It doesn't even have to always be paid for. The schools offer free counseling. This helps support the teen and the parent. The parent could go and talk to the counselor, or the teen can always get counseling, because maybe there are things that a teen doesn't want to share with the parent, and they feel that they're not comfortable with it. So this will help the parent, because they won't be as stressed dealing with them during this situation, and they will feel a lot better knowing that someone else is helping their child to get through these things so that nothing bad happens. Late adolescent and young adults. Parents are almost there, a time where they can breathe, because most late adolescents are looking towards their future and their lives. If they're going to go to college, or maybe getting a new car, or things that they want in their life. So this is a good time for parents to have a hobby. Some parents might want to do a dance class together, or a cooking class, or take an arts and crafts class. This is the time where a parent, a mom or a dad, could use to reconnect with friends and family that they didn't have time to connect with during raising their child. So they can regain their own control of their life. Some parents, especially mothers, also could use this time to re-enter the workforce. Maybe they had a career they were focusing on, but they had to stop it because they were taking care of their child. So this is a good time for them to maybe feel that they can re-enter the workforce field and reconnect with other adults. This is a time where your adolescent becomes more independent. They want freedom. They start dating and getting involved in more relationships and looking for jobs, and they want to participate in clubs or the community, or just something that benefits their future life. During the late adolescence and young adults stage, it's also a good time to talk to your child about sex and the importance of using protection and keeping them safe from pregnancies or any STDs. A lot of them don't understand about this. There was about 80% of teens who were interested in the information that was given on sexual health issues, knowing about birth control, and protecting themselves against STDs. They don't always understand these things. These aren't the first things that come to their mind when they're thinking about having sex or in that situation. I also think it's important for parents to give their child advice on who they're dating or who they're friends with, because your child could be going to college and wanting a great future, but hanging out with someone who parties constantly or drinks a lot or does a lot of drugs. It's not a good influence for them. I think this is also a good time for parents to start talking to other parents to gain advice and reassurance about this time during their late adolescent stage. Maybe help them feel better. So I think connecting with other friends and sharing the situations that are going on in your life will help you to feel a little bit more calmer. Lastly, I wanted to add this slide because parents did a great job from birth to late adolescence. So this is the time that they need to enjoy. I think they should reward themselves, pat themselves on the back, and start having interest in things that they were not able to do. A mom could join a yoga class, maybe have a retreat weekend for herself, possibly a retreat weekend for her and her husband, even a nice getaway with your husband, a vacation, going to an island, drinking pina coladas for the next week instead of having to deal with the stress of being a parent. And I'm sure there's also joys, but it's not easy. So they need to treat themselves throw yourselves a party with your family and friends, invite your friends over, have a game night, have a drinking game night, things maybe you used to do, just have a barbecue. So I think this is where parents just really need to breathe and enjoy life. In conclusion to my project, I think the role of being a parent from birth to late adolescent is a rewarding gift, but it's also difficult. I don't think being a parent is the easiest thing in the world. I'm not a parent yet, but I've seen many be parents, I've seen my parents be parents, and it's definitely not easy. So if you're deciding to be a parent, I think it's something you have to think about, as well as understand the things that you will have to sacrifice in life. You're not going to be able to go on vacations all the time or getaways when you're being a parent. You have to be ready to give unconditional love, care, and have patience. And I think also being a hands-on and an involved parent is one of the most important things that I wanted to say in my project, because I wish that my parents were more involved and hands-on with me, because I think things would have been a little different for me in my life. And I think children do remember these things as they get older. It doesn't matter if you think that they might not want you to be an involved parent. I think they really do want you to be involved, because they want to remember that their parent coached their soccer team, or their mom was the brownie mom, just anything. I think that it's important for your child's developmental stage, and it helps them with the way that they're raised. Thank you very much for listening to my Parenthood Survival Kit.